Hey guys, welcome to Unboxed Creativity, the podcast hosted by myself, Fernando, Emmanuel, and Val. Guys, you want to say hi?
We're excited, guys. Episode 6, guys. Episode 6. Can't wait.
So today I'm gonna be very honest. I have no clue what we're gonna talk about. So today instead of going by actual topics, we're just gonna have conversations about life, about recent projects we've been working on, and about things that we've learned so far with this podcast. Because I think Emmanuel today brought us a bunch of cool stuff that we learned for the podcast, but that we're gonna definitely be able to introduce to other aspects of our lives and our work as well. So, Emmanuel, if you want to start.
I think we have to talk about the shoot we did together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that was a standout of the week for sure.
For sure. So we can talk about that. I'm gonna introduce that a little bit then, and then you guys can go ahead. So we had this shoot to do for the school district of Osceola County, and with me not being there in person in the U.S., I was doing mostly the pre-production planning of things, really from a creative producer standpoint. So making sure that there's a voice, making sure that everything is aligned on the same path, so that whenever they did show up on set, they knew exactly what kind of language they had to portray, what the characters would have to say, and so on and so forth. And for me, this time around, it was very important because we were dealing with kids as the actors. These kids are, they started working with us when they were 9 years old. Now they're 12, 13, 14. And so they've been working with us for a while, and we needed to have a director on set. So this time around, we hired Brooke, and I want to have Brooke come to the podcast. And
yes, Brooke.
Yeah.
Get ready, Brooke.
I know, we definitely have to. Yeah, we have to interview her here and have her saying that as well. But yeah, I want to hear a little bit from you guys. Val, if you want to start a little bit about how the set was. But I want to make this a conversation. So Emmanuel and everyone to come in and talk about it, go for it.
It was an interesting experience, especially seeing where we started to where we are now. Having a team where I confidently know where we all know what we're doing. And we can assign each other roles and just kind of know that it's going to get done. The first shot was definitely that shot where I can see that happening. I said, hey, Val, do this, this, and this. And then 5-10 minutes later, that was all set up. The camera was set up. Brooke, the director, was going in and just doing what she does best and going in there and getting the actors to feel what they're supposed to feel. Overall, I think the shoot was great. My favorite thing was everything that came in to stop us from doing a good shoot. Did we tell you about the dog?
Yeah. I heard on some takes, because I edited this. I did the pre-production and post-production mostly, and I heard the dog in the background. And just
To give everyone context, we're shooting in a living room, and then the owner has 2 dogs. Both adorable dogs, but there's one dog that wants to be part of the action, but we can't have him there. So we put him in a hallway, separating it. But he would go up to the door, separating the shooting area and the hallway, and he would put his nose underneath the door, and then start breathing super hard and destroying all our takes. Oh my God!
Literally every time we're like, okay, speed. Camera's rolling. Okay, action.
He would start snoring. And then every single time he would open the door to try slowly pushing him away. He was so strong. He would just run inside the set and run around until we could get him out.
That boy's thick.
He's a thick boy. Even I couldn't stop him. I went to go grab him.
I'm pretty sure it's a girl, isn't it?
It could be a girl.
I
think it is. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't check. I didn't grab the legs and check.
Is it Charlie? Is it Charlie?
Yeah.
For girls and boys?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of American names that work for men and women. I got confused with that sometimes.
I think the reason she wanted to be a part of it, she just kept going and she just kept like letting it loose in different locations on the set. She just kept prop dusting us while we were shooting. So we're shooting and we're like, what's that smell?
Not
And she
only
would just
the snoring,
leave
it
death
was the
around.
farting.
It was a loud, smelly
that part I
set.
didn't know because I'm just editing and I can't smell what's going
Can't
on.
smell the
on
footage.
set. Thankfully, if there was smell coming out of the footage, I'll be editing like.
I swear. Imagine you can
So-
record smell.
Dude, I would
Wow.
die if I was on set.
Poor
I
editor.
would
Poor
laugh
editor.
I would laugh so much if I was on set. Just knowing from
course.
experience with you guys, it's so funny to be on set. If I was on
Yo,
set and
I would
there was
walk
a
into a
dog
room,
farting, bro, I'd
I would
die.
walk into a room, and every time I would walk into a room where he left his smell, it'd be like a punch to the face. I'd just be like, oh God. It was so pungent. It was so strong.
The first time, I'm not gonna lie, I looked at everything's face because I was like, who farted? And I'm like, it's like he was holding it.
That's so
Then I
funny,
noticed
dude.
it was a fucking dog, yeah. But beautiful. Like, they have the most cutest dogs ever. Well, I'm not a big fan of, like, bulldogs. Sorry, Mark, if you watched this at some point. But the doodle, the big dog.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
dog.
And
So
I love,
cute.
like, when there's a dog on set, I love it. I just go and hug them.
Just have the best
They
time.
get back
Yeah.
Whenever I'm
So
done with
what
my life.
I just wanna explain. So kind of like the roles on set. So we talked about here before how like usually, right? So things change a lot on set. So it all depends on the size of the set. If you have a bigger set, you're gonna have more people. So that way you're gonna have to. You're gonna be able to let each person do perform where they're best at, right? So I like directing. Emmanuel likes to DP. Val usually is between art direction or she's a gaffer. Brooke, who was on set with us for that day, she directs, but she's really good in production design, and she sometimes likes to act on some pretty good stuff. She's done a couple of films with
amazing,
us,
yeah.
so. She did Roadside Assistance in the Blue Room, and it was just a really good performance on both of them. And I got to direct her. It was a pleasure for me to direct someone that has directed me as a DP before. It was just a very nice experience. And so we like switching roles a lot. But for this one, we got to do what we like to do best. Except, of course, I wasn't on set, so I had to do some of the direction in pre-production. So the whole thing here is to make sure, because here's the thing, guys, every shot you take, it's not only about what's on the screen and on the camera that you're capturing, on the frame, but everything you're leaving out of the frame. There's so many choices for every shot you get, for each video, each film you make. There's so many different choices. So you have to make sure everyone on set is on the same page, that they understand the language, especially on a small set like this. Because if you have 100 people on set, not every assistant producer or production assistant or AD has to know everything. But on a set like this, Val knew what we were trying to say, Emmanuel knew what we were trying to do, Brooke knew it, and even the sound guy knew it. Like everyone that's on set needs to kind of have the script, know where we're going for, know what equipment we're going to need beforehand. So that's where I came in. And then on the editing side. And I think we learned some stuff on the editing as well.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have us late, right? And that's something we usually do have. And
Yeah.
that for me on the editing make everything take longer.
That made me slow my progress. But yeah, I feel, well, going back to all this work that is like just little by little getting everyone on the same page is one of the hardest things ever. Like, ever. Like, I'm dealing with that with my documentary, and I'm like, oh my God, they never get to say the same day, same schedule. It's hard. But to make a highlight of this last commercial is that we literally hit all the time marks, and we could have lunch, and we left the set on time and early to drive back home. And I was dreaming. Like, I was like, I don't know. I knew the shots looked amazing and everything, but I was like, wow, first time we're not hurrying, and it's like, oh guys, it's past 2 hours, and we're like,
we go a 2-hour lunch. We took our time eating. We drove to location. The funny thing is,
that was good pre-production and experience too.
you know what's so funny? I don't think I told Diane that the wrap time wasn't actually the wrap time for the first location. I just put the time that I thought we were going to be done. But the wrap time was at noon, was at 12 p.m. And then it was like 12:45. And that's the wrap time that was on the call sheet. It didn't even say wrap time. It was just the last shot said we would be done around that time. And then she was like, "Oh, we're late. Oh, we're struggling. Oh, we're this, all that."
Yeah.
And I'm just like looking at her like, "Relax." And she's looking at me like, "Why are you so relaxed?
they
Why
had
are you so slow?"
PTSD from all the ones before they had to schedule, and we're like,
Yeah, we're
like-
getting better at it. We're getting better. I think it's two things. We got better at it, right? Like on this one, she went and she asked me later, could you tell Emmanuel next time to actually write the time when it's supposed to end and not pretending that he started at 8, because there's always an hour for making everything, like setting up everything. But I think the one thing that we're not necessarily struggling at, but I think that we can improve more is having an AD on set, an assistant director, which for you guys watching, it's a person that's going to deal with the schedule, which is what we're talking about, but also in a smaller shoot like this, they can help log the shots onto a script log for the editor, so like an editing log. They can help keep track of small things on set, making sure that the actors are ready for their scene, making sure that all the pre-production documents are there. And I think the main thing is the link between the agency and the crew. Because when you don't have, when it's not a film set, when it's a commercial, you also have an advertising agency involved. So that link, that bridge has to be really clear so that everyone's also on the same page when it comes to that. Not only the vision, but also how to make that vision come to life.
Yeah, and it's a lot to juggle, and I think every single time we work with different agencies, we can kind of show our skills, and sometimes if it's the first couple times we work with them, we kind of work more than we're used to kind of prove the budget and prove that we're doing everything well. But they kind of show why we also need specific people on set. An AD is super important. A script supervisor is super important.
yeah, it's like proving why like each person that is actually there is needed. Sometimes you can find a lot of people and then they're like slacking, in the snacks area, just eating a little bit or whatever. But like if you know how your team works and then you explain that to your client and be like, no way I'm not having an AD because this of that.
Yeah.
Then next time they work with you, they understand better your breakdowns of the payments and things like that, but it will all make sense in the final result. Like, like there's
it's
no
because for them
point.
too, a lot of them don't see the struggle we go through during the process. Like the agency didn't see how long Fernando took to edit that footage. They just see the final process. They're like, well, it got done either way. It got done on time. But for us, I
think also what Val is saying is not only like the side of the agency or our side as the production. And for me personally, I've always been a bridge between both. So it's a different mindset. It's almost like I have to put a filmmaker hat on and then an advertising agency hat on. And sometimes it's hard to put. Sometimes you want to put both hats on, and then you look weird. And it's true. It's true. Like it's because it's two different mentalities and mindsets. The agency world, which is usually dealing with more digital products, they're more used to planning everything out and having things on paper, and everything is very accurate. And there's a meeting time. Production, there's always troubleshooting. There's always problems, so you always got to be ready for that. It's very different, and especially for me after living in Brazil and working here, People get to places late. They don't plan as much. They fix stuff on the last minute. They will get this tiny little light that's on the corner, wrap this gel around it, and boom, the whole room changes the color. They didn't even use a light. They literally just used whatever light was there, and they made the whole room blue. Like last minute, just like that.
Of life, yeah.
Yeah, so because you gotta do so much with so little that you have in your hands here, you know, in countries like this. So that's just stuff you learn with time, but that's a different hat. Advertising, filmmaking. How do you bridge those two, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I know that, yeah, you're completely right. But if you manage to have like this switch mindset or learn from the ad industry how to put it into the film industry or just like the videography in general, then you're gonna have better outcomes because it's like you plan for the message beforehand. You know, like sometimes filmmakers are like all about like how they feeling, how they envision, and all that, and they totally forget about who they're
You're right.
watching.
I love that.
And then
You're right.
Going back to like in advertising, there's no message if they don't have a target. You know, you build everything upon that. So I think it's cool to have both reference or at least instruct yourself in the area of like the commercial part so you can like kind of nail it better when you tell stories, even if filmmaking, videography, or just blogs, vlogs, name it, anything, you know.
And I think you nailed it too. Like, I think the end of it is that we're just trying to tell a story. Agency's trying to tell a story. We're trying to tell a story. But we have different ways of getting to that end point. So it's just getting that connection, getting that, you know, conversation going, and then learning on each production on how you can tell the story better and how you can make the process of telling that story easier instead of hammering your head on a specific set, trying to make it look better and better and better, or, you know, make the actor go better, better, better. But I think we're getting really good at that, and I think the years of experience are showing, especially with this commercial. When you showed me the commercial, Fernando, I thought it came out great. I thought we killed it on something that was like a one-day shoot. It was like what, 4 hours on location on each location. Each
location, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 2 actors, like super easy, super chill. Back to what Val was saying, I think what happens a lot with like, we love so much what we do that we want to kind of, especially videographers, I feel like, and sometimes filmmakers get lost in how pretty that shot's gonna look. So they want to add all the transitions possible. And these, you know, they learned this really nice vertigo shot. So the camera moves in while it's zooming out. Like, there's purpose to the language of filmmaking. There has to be purpose for every shot. Why are you framing this like that? So when it comes to cinematography for this, let's go back to this specific commercial. You guys did something simple and pretty. Emmanuel has a nice gimbal and a camera that has good stabilization. He didn't go in with that camera and started getting these crazy movements. Hey, Fernando, I learned this really nice movement I can do with my gimbal, bro, so I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna have the drone pull in and then zoom into the gimbal. No, that you can do for an event video where you have to make everything more dynamic and fast. Here, tripod, boom, frame it, good lighting. You guys use the haze machine. You wanna talk about that?
Now it's always in my car.
Yeah, you have to have it in your car. The haze machine is a lifesaver. But to kind of add on to what you were saying, it's like, for example, like even in the shot list, we had like a slider in mind. We had like a slight gimbal movement for some of them. And once we got to set and we saw the time limit and we saw the restrictions, we were like, okay, like, is this worth taking that time? Is this really going to make the storytelling better if we use a gimbal or slider in this and take time to set up all those
and getting
equipment?
better the shot instead of like, you know, like you have to time manage. Like there's so many things compared to making a video that people don't really think of, you know, and it's all creativity not because you're all envisioning, telling story or anything like that. It's because you're solving problems on spot.
Yes.
And if
it's just a job of solving problems. That's all it is.
Exactly.
It's just solving problems 24/7.
Yeah, I mean,
But I
feel
think you guys did great. I mean, even with you saying like, hey, there were things on set on the shot list, like for instance, the slider movement, easily replaced nowadays by shooting in 6K and framing it a little bit wider, or 4K and framing it a little bit wider, so you can go in post and do this. And I did a bunch of that, and it's slight little movements. If you're watching, you know something's going on. As the audience, you're watching that commercial. And guys, if you want to see what we're talking about, message us, we can send you the link. And if you're the audience, you can tell every scene, there's some movement. There's something dynamic going on. What's going on? It looks nice. You don't quite catch what it is. It's that slider movement Emmanuel's talking about. So he, right away, finished the shoot. Hey, Fernando, yeah, we didn't do the slider shots, but I did this and this and that, and you're going to be able to zoom in and do the movement. That's it. That's all I had to know.
Yeah. And it's just juggling the time, you know, because guess what? Like, we can make our life easier on production or like on the actual set, but it's also juggling like, okay, is this really going to be worth it for the post-production? Like,
Yeah.
okay, if it's easy for the post-production, we'll cut it out, we'll put it in the post-production. But some people go like, oh, we'll fix it in post, the famous
That's
famous
different.
saying.
That's different.
We don't have an actor, we'll fix it in post. We'll just put AI guy there. I mean, who knows? Maybe in the next 5 years that's possible. But it's just, you know, about juggling everyone's workload and seeing how much everyone has to work, and then seeing what things we can nip off to kind of make the process a little bit faster.
But making the process faster while telling the story.
Yeah, you can't avoid the story. Like if you're sacrificing the story, then why are you shooting it? You know.
Yeah.
I think I have like a little like 1 minute
we need
story.
that quote. Let's quote that.
My first year, I was a gaffer on a shoot, and we were shooting. It was supposed to be a whole thriller. It was like for OIF, I think. And it was supposed to be an action thriller. And the idea was really cool. It was, you know, inside a house and everyone's murdering each other inside the house. So it was like an action horror mix.
Fun. Everybody dies.
Knives out, like Knives Out.
Yeah, pretty much. We started shooting at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. right when the sun went down, because it was all supposed to be at night. By 12 or maybe like 1, we had 3 shots done.
Oh.
And it was supposed to be like 25, 30
Oh.
shots. So we were shooting until like 6 in the morning. No, I wasn't getting paid at all. We were shooting until 6 in the morning. But the only way we were able to get done, the director cut all the action scenes off. Which sucks,
Oh my
because now
God.
it's like, now what's the point of the story? Now
Yeah.
it's just,
So
it's a
that's
bummer.
the thing. It's a balance between the creative side and the almost
Communication.
production side, really, right? Making it happen. So there's like a director and a producer inside each one of our heads, in the sense that there's a creative, but there's also a business side where you're like, okay, I have to account for how much time I'm gonna take, how much money I'm gonna spend on this, you know?
I think that was a big lesson to the director too, and like she's gotten better off that experience. But it's that knowledge of like, okay, we can shoot 10 minutes of a script in 8 hours, maybe 1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes nowadays, depending on how good you want the actual story to be, or the footage to be, or even the acting to be. It takes time. Everything takes time.
For sure.
But I was gonna ask, do we have a prompt for today, Val?
Real fast. If you have a coffee shop, how do you call it?
Ooh, I love that. Wait, let Fernando go first. I gotta think.
No, I can't, because I'm thinking in Portuguese. Give me
Good.
some time.
Just have a Portuguese name.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay,
Café Brasil. There we go.
Café Brasil.
Come on.
Easy.
You gotta be like Seri Cafe.
Café. Well, what about a place? And I was telling Val about this, but they're gonna steal our idea now. I'm not. I
No.
shouldn't say that much.
We'll sue you.
No, I can't tell. I can't say it.
No,
you want
no,
me
no,
to
no.
say it? No.
No.
Okay. It's a really good idea. It's a coffee shop. It has to
Yeah.
do with film. I'm gonna
No.
stop right there.
That's it. I will sue.
The name is
Café Brasil.
Cinema
I-
Café.
I
Cinema
like that.
Café.
I like that.
Okay, got it. I love
Okay.
it. Go for it. No.
I was remembering my lawyers out. I was like, no. No, I'm playing. Damn. It's kind of like, I love the cinema cafe because like I think we all do film and we all do creation and stuff like that.
Don't go too deep into it because I have an idea, bro. I want us to make that eventually. So stop.
All right, so I'm gonna drop the film aspect because I think that's a big portion of me. But I think I can also do something out of my other side, out of my other creativity.
Video games.
I could say Café Colitos. All the assets I'm playing.
That's when you get canceled forever.
Cafecito and culitos.
Oh my god.
We will have a lot of people showing up for sure. No,
It's like, let's see what they sell.
because I think right now, even with social media, and I think slowly, I think companies are gonna start seeing this. Everyone's merging things. Like when you go on someone's website, there's multiple things that you can access on there. They have a niche, but there's multiple things. For coffee, what can I do differently that people would enjoy? Maybe have like a coffee shop, and every single place has like a kind of like a what are those places called? Like a diner.
You've been smoking
like,
too much weed, bro. What's happening in your brain?
Maybe the name is probably awful, but like diner cafe, and like have a cafe with like different TVs and have like that aesthetics of a diner, but with cafe or coffee. I'm over here talking Spanish, but with or Portuguese. But it's like a diner with a cafe where it looks like a diner, but it sells more coffee stuff and maybe some breakfast things as well. Kind of like a Waffle House looking out exterior, but with a coffee more influenced interior.
It's called Dennis, right? It already exists.
Yeah, it's called Waffle House.
It's called IHOP, right? International House of Pancakes.
Then we have Cafe Brazil. And
No. Cinema Cafe.
Cinema Cafe. Cinema Cafe and Dinner Cafe.
Diner.
Coffee. Diner. Okay.
¿Y cuál es tuyo? Which one's yours? Which one's yours?
Mine will be. Oh my god, I'm seeing objects in my room.
Just like grabbing random things.
Yeah, I'll do something like a theme too. And it has to be like very immersive. Kind of like this. It's like a gallery. No, it's not a gallery. It's a museum called Mill Wolf, something like that. That you like walk straight up out of Earth. Like it's like each room is an immersive experience. So I will add coffee to one of those rooms and I'll call it Sky Cafe.
Oh, I like that.
I like that.
That's it.
It sounds like a room that's more for like weed. You just smoke weed and like.
I mean, in the future, it could be a coffee shop in the future. You made me think of two things real quick. My dream was to go to a real life when I was little, and still is, Pizza Planet from Toy Story. The one in Disney.
That'd be dope.
The one in Disney sucks. Like they
Recreated.
have one, but it's not good. So yeah, Pizza Planet would be a dream for me to go to. And my other thing, I thought of like a coffee shop where now you made me think of this, each room has coffee from a different country. So you walk in and it's like a Brazil themed room, Colombia, Venezuela.
Kind of like the world of beer, but the coffee.
Yeah, that's what I thought with coffee.
I like that. All right, now we have a good idea. Don't steal it. All right.
The only thing,
Don't steal it.
for me, I think the only downside with that is that I think everyone says buy like the third or fourth, like coffee place. They'll all be in the bathroom. They'll all be in the toilets because they're all just drinking coffee. Or they'd be jumping from wall to wall.
And then at the end, everybody's like, let's put them somewhere.
Especially keeping coffee and then having some, I don't know, some cocaine coffee. Who knows? Some people put in their coffee.
Some Colombian
From
coffee.
Colombia.
Yeah, you're like.
I'll always add like a vinyl session, live music. After you blast your coffee,
At the end, there's some final room. I like that. All right, that's it, guys. We're done.
We got it.
Guys, that's a wrap.
Subscribe to the channel, like our video. You can catch us on every single platform: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on fire today because São Paulo's playing tonight. I'm going to the stadium. We're gonna win. See you guys. Thank you.
Let's win, São Paulo.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace.